Thank you so much for joining us tonight here on WEIU. We are having a party in the station tonight. We are celebrating Crawford County. This is our story. I'm Wanda K. Robinson, your membership manager and one of the project managers for this great project we've been working on.
And I'm Key-Ann Armstrong, and I would like to welcome you to this wonderful program this evening. We're so excited to share Crawford County. This is our story with you. This is our 16th show, and today is the 16th, and we have how many storytellers?
16 storytellers with some great stories that we know you're going to enjoy. So look at the screen, get the number ready to call. Call our phone operators. We've got storytellers with us tonight ready to answer your calls. And we want to have a party with you tonight as we celebrate Crawford County.
This is our story.
It's a brand new day.
Crawford County, This is Our Story on WEIU is brought to you in part by
Marathon Petroleum Company. We actively partner with our communities, governments, and business partners to find and create shared values, making a positive difference together. We are so proud of all of the storytellers making this program possible. Enjoy Crawford County, This is Our Story on WEIU.
Reinl Kellenbrink LLC is a law firm concentrating primarily in the areas of personal injury, workers' compensation, and criminal defense. We are proud of everyone involved in producing Crawford County, This is Our Story on WEIU. Enjoy the show from all of us at Reinl Kellenbrink LLC.
At Crawford Memorial Hospital in Robinson, Illinois, we understand that caring for your health is a team effort. A team effort went into the making of Crawford County, This is Our Story, and we salute all that were involved. Crawford Memorial Hospital in Robinson is a proud partner of Crawford County, This is Our Story.
Crawford County, This is Our Story is supported by Casey State Bank. Your community, your bank. Casey State Bank salutes all of the storytellers who are making this show possible. Casey State Bank is proud to be part of Crawford County and the surrounding areas. Casey State Bank, your community, your bank, member FDIC.
Lincoln Trail College is a 2-year coeducational comprehensive public community college offering a full spectrum of transfer, occupational, continuing education, and community service programs. We are excited to bring you Crawford County, This is Our Story on WEIU.
Temco Products Co. is a manufacturer of custom vinyl windows and patio doors located in Robinson, Illinois. Temco thanks all of the champions and storytellers that are making this program possible. Enjoy Crawford County, This is Our Story on WEIU from your friends at Temco.
Founded in 1915, Weber Insurance and Realty is proud of all things Robinson and is honored to support Crawford County, This is Our Story on WEIU. Weber Insurance and Realty congratulates all of the storytellers appearing in the show and those who made it possible.
Crawford County, This is Our Story is partially supported by a grant from the Illinois Arts Council, a state agency.
We are located at 308 South Cross Street here in Robinson, and it was the former Schmidt Clinic. Now, the Schmidt Clinic was owned by G.W. Schmidt and his 3 sons, and they worked at this clinic until 1961, when the Crawford Memorial Hospital was built and came to Robinson. We obtained this building in 2006 from the LTC Foundation. The Historical Society was first thought of in 1925 by a group of concerned citizens who wanted to preserve the county history. And in 1967, during the sesquicentennial at Palestine, we gathered together and we had 536 people that joined the Historical Society. In 1969, we moved and we were on the Lincoln Trail campus. And that's where we really started collecting our artifacts and things that we have presently in our museum. 2006, we moved to the Schmidt Clinic. As you enter the Schmidt Clinic, it's an atrium room which is quite large. We have 3 phonographs. I say phonographs, being record players, the old crank time. We have 3 of those on display, and you can hear that music, which is wonderful. We have an Abraham Lincoln display, and we do, on occasion, feature Abraham Lincoln's casket, which we get from Batesville. And then the hallway to the north has 100 old schools on display in pictures. And Roe Wright, who was superintendent of schools here in Robinson, he did this as his college paper. We have a Heath room. The Heath room has bottles and cans and different things that the Heath candy bar was packaged in. The next room would be the music room, and that features James Jones, who wrote From Here to Eternity. He was born and raised here in Robinson. The operating room, which we have the Roush Brothers engine for their airplane that they built and had over at Palestine. And now I'm headed back up the hallway. And on the wall is a full-size quilt. It's a granny square quilt, and it is dated 1812. And it was done by the Grand Army of the Republic. And the really prized thing is we have a room that's like a law room, and it has a replica of the first jail in Palestine. It also has the land office desk, which we acquired in 1925 when we first had the preservation gather up. And it was where Robert Kinsey came down from Chicago and purchased the land for Chicago, the swampland, for $1.23 an acre. So we have that desk, and it's a fine thing to look at. My deal is I preserve a lot of history, and I collect, and I think it's important to collect that stuff so you can look back on the years, and also you can encourage your kids or your children and a family to want to keep this alive. And even if you just put it on the shelf for a little bit, somebody's going to come along and somebody's going to say, oh my gosh, look at this, I love it.
It started out a school teacher named Lawrence Seymour Heath, more commonly known as L.S. Heath, that probably everybody has always recognized that name. And he had 2 sons that were just graduated high school, and they bought a confectionery that existed on the Crawford County Courthouse Square in 1913. Then they formed a company, L.S. Heath and Sons, and on January 7th, 1914, they went into business selling milk, ice cream, cottage cheese, dairy products in general. the two sons set out to start deliveries to local grocery stores and restaurants and different things. And all this time, when they were doing the confectionery, the ice cream and the milk and all the other stuff, the two sons were formulating a recipe for candy, and finally came up with one that he really, really liked. And in 1928, they started making the Heath English Toffee candy bar. So from there, it just blossomed, and people really liked it. First of all, it hit all the United States. Then it went to overseas in different foreign countries. It was a staple for the soldiers in World War II. Like most companies did at the time, they supplied to our forces overseas, and it kept growing and growing and growing, and they moved out of their old office building on South Jackson Street and built a new candy plant in the early 60s, I think it was. And they also had a Pepsi bottling company there. When it was sold to Leaf Company, they had Payday and they had Zero and a lot of other things. Leaf was here about 10 years, then they were bought out by Hershey in, I think in the mid-90s, and Hershey came in, and they make tons and tons of candy. I hate to think what they make in a year's time, but they have supported the city of Robinson by hiring people local for many, many years. And you know, it's been a good family company for the city and the people that work there. So I'm proud to say I'm a part of this town because of some of those things like the Heath Candy Company.
A friend of mine from high school approached me at another women's meeting and said, Gina, you've got to hear this great idea that's going on that's just getting started with a group of women. And so I said, okay. She said, I can give $100 to my favorite charity, and that is good. But 100 women giving $100 to a charity is impactful. And I said, oh, tell me more. And so that's how we got started, with that simple idea of 100 people giving $100 to one cause in their community to make a real impact. And so we gathered for our first true meeting the first quarter of 2016, and we were able to give $1,300 to a new project at the local park, which was called Harmony Park. And we were thrilled. That was the beginning of something really impactful. We understood that our $100 suddenly became $1,300, and we knew there was much more to come. Now, it took a while for the word to get out and for people to really believe, is this all there is to it? You mean there's no fundraising, there's no baking cookies, there's nothing else I have to do? And every woman is so busy with everything in their life, and we knew that if we could make it short and sweet, simple rules, all you have to do is bring a cause, be a member to bring a cause to the group, present about your cause. We want it to be an immediate need in the community, and we want the money all to stay in the local county. Those were really the requirements. And so as we tried to get that word out and people started to gather more and more, we started to see more and more of an impact. Now, we've given to every kind of cause in the county, everything from school projects to street safety projects, to mental health organizations, to food pantries. One of the most impactful ones that I remember was when we gave to the drug court, the renewed drug court program. And because what we always do at the following meeting is hear the results of our gift. And so we got to hear about someone who went through the drug court successfully, how that made an impact. And it's just really so encouraging to see that just simply by women gathering together, giving to a common cause makes such an impact in our community.
Marathon Petroleum Company has 4 certified Wildlife Habitat Council sites in Crawford County. We have them kind of spread throughout the county. We have Neil Pitt, we have Hudsonville Grade Schools area, Washington Park, and then also Lincoln Trail College. Our Neil Pitt facility is about 80 acres, and it's a former gravel pit that Marathon has repurposed for wildlife habitats and conservation. We also have several pavilions there that we host learning opportunities and host field trips for the local kids. We have about 200 kids a year that we bring through there that we do various wildlife projects with. We learn about trees and bees and bats, butterflies, other pollinators. We do a nature walk. It's a field trip that every second grade student in the county looks forward to. We also do work there to keep the habitat as native as possible. We remove invasive species, and we add native wildflowers as needed to promote the pollinators of all kinds, bats and birds and bees. We've also won the Monarch Sustainer of the Year award for that facility twice now. So we are right in the path of the monarch's migration. So we plant lots of milkweed in that area to try to encourage the monarchs to land there. Another of our sites is Washington Park, and that site we work with the city parks department to take care of. Marathon has built a log cabin there that's available for the use of the community. Also has a covered bridge right there for use there. It's really beautiful. Anyone that walks through Washington Park will see deer almost on a daily basis. The wildlife trails go through the woods, and there's several little bridges that are fun to walk over, but it's just a nice place right in the middle of town that you can just go out and enjoy a beautiful day. We also have worked with Hudsonville Schools to put a facility just north of the high school and grade school that is an adorable little walking trail through a wooded area that the community can also use. Especially in the spring and the summer, it's just really beautiful and shady, nice little path to walk through. We also have worked with Lincoln Trail College and helped enhance their lake area. There's now a walking path around the lake that is very nice for the staff and the students to use, but also the community. People are out there anyway fishing, so we've just kind of helped those facilities get a little bit further along. Just south of the lake, a lot of people I don't think realize this, but we added a wetland area. It used to be farm ground, but we have turned it into a wetlands that is just really incredible. And there's a walking path paved through that area as well for the community to walk through. Our purpose is to appreciate the wildlife habitat areas that we already have in the area and try to kind of conserve those and enhance them and attract more native species of either plants or animals to the area. We just want to we live here, we want to make it better so that we can all enjoy it and keep it as nice as possible for as long as we can.
6 doctors got their heads together. Dr. Firebaugh, Dr. Carlisle, Dr. Newland, Dr. Price, and 2 Dr. Raffertys got together and created the hospital district. The Robinson Hospital Authority is what they called themselves. And they built the first hospital in town. It opened in 1908, and they practiced there for 8 years. They began to realize that they were practicing medicine in a house and not in a hospital. So they bought some land across from the First United Methodist Church on Walnut Street and built a hospital. The Robinson Hospital opened there in 1916, and it stayed open for 30 years. There were some other hospitals that grew in the area. The Allen Sanitarium was built on South Cross Street, just south of the tracks, and that facility stayed open until 1961 when the hospital opened. And also on South Cross Street, the Schmidt Clinic was built. Dr. Schmidt built that clinic, and he and 3 generations of Schmidt doctors and dentists practiced there. That hospital closed in 1961 when the hospital opened. Things were looking pretty good. Big community, 6 hospitals, no, 5, one had closed. The community was starting to get worried because there were only 20 doctors. 7 of them were old and 11 of them were sick. So they formed a committee. 29 of them got together and started looking at maybe building a community hospital here in the county. The Crawford Hospital District was formed. The dedication day was in September of 1961. There were dedications, there were a lot of speeches. One of the speeches was done by Dr. Olwin, who was a Robinson native, a world-renowned researcher in blood clotting and venous thrombosis and things that we deal with every day. He came and gave the keynote speech. January 1962, the hospital got its first profit. It was $600 on the good side. They were now bringing in 50.8 was the average number of patients in for that month. They were delivering a baby a day, and they now had a medical staff of 36 physicians. Things were looking up, and actually they've continued to look up since then. Since that time, there have been renovations, there have been additions, there have been new clinics built, not only on the main campus, but also in Oblong and in Palestine. As we move forward, some of the words that Vernon Heath said at the dedication. He wrote, "This new hospital embodies the latest in design, efficiency, and life-saving equipment. However, a hospital is something more than a building. To provide for the needs of the sick and suffering, it must have character, prestige, and high-quality care that keeps pace with the advances of medical science. That will be our constant goal, and we must not fail nor falter in the great purpose and the great ideal."
Wow, what a wonderful way to open the show tonight. We are so glad that you are joining us for Crawford County. This is our story. We are live in the studio here at WEIU, but for those of you who may be trying to figure out how to watch us and don't know, we've seen some Facebook posts online, so if you have friends or family, let them know that we are streaming out of the broadcast viewing area on our Facebook page and our YouTube channel, as well as our website, WEIU.net. So let's get those phones ringing tonight.
Yes, our storytellers are behind us. We've got Preston Riley, Vicki May, Gina Mills, and Fritz Wheeler. So I'm telling you, they want to take your phone call. They want to talk to you because they love Crawford County. The thing that I noticed, Keanne, when we got to Crawford County was what a close-knit family they really are, and how much they are one for all and all for one, right?
That's true.
And it's just great to see a county of people that really care about each other and are that close-knit together. And so they've just really impressed me, and I just love being in Crawford County. And I know tonight you have loved the first 5 stories that you have listened to. Such sweet stories. As you saw Mary Jo walking through the Historical Society, well, her and Sue Jones, I can imagine them walking those halls all the time and trying to preserve every bit of history that they can for the people right now, but also for future generations to come. And you can also help preserve the history of Crawford County if you pick up the phone and call us tonight and get your DVD or Blu-ray, $75 for one. 2 or more are $60 each. And it can be yours this evening if you pick up the phone and give our operators a call and order your DVD and Blu-ray tonight. Order multiple ones. Give them as gifts. We've got Father's Day coming up Sunday. What a great gift to give Dad, to let him know that you love him and appreciate him by giving him this DVD.
We want to hear from you tonight. Our storytellers want to hear from you. So who is going to be our first caller? We need someone to get the night rolling. We want to hear all of these phones ringing. We'll have a phone blitz sometime in the night, hopefully, where we've got everybody on the phone. We need someone to call in right now. You can order online as well, but we want to talk to you. But who's going to be that first person to call in and get the copy of Crawford County? This is our story. Our storytellers here have worked hard. They have prepared. They have researched. researched. They are supporting Crawford County as a whole, as a family, and we need you to support them tonight as well.
We really do. And already our storytellers and champions here in the studio with us tonight, they've already started buying DVDs and Blu-rays because they know that it's more than just getting a DVD and a Blu-ray. Even though they love Crawford County, they want to support WEIU because we love what we do. Well, there's the
there
first
it is,
call.
right there.
Yes.
Yes, thank you.
We love what we do here at WEIU. Every day we get to come into this great TV station and work and get to talk with people, and then we get to go out into the communities just like Crawford County and let people share their stories with us. And what sweet stories that we've already heard with Roger Pethel, former mayor there in Robinson, talking about the sweet beginnings of the Heath Company and how just beneficial that was to Robinson. And then with Gina Mills, we're going to talk with Gina in a few minutes. And Gina with the 100 women of Crawford County and the 100 women who care. You know, it's amazing when you get one woman to care, but multiplying that over and over is pretty great.
It is. And you know what we want to see tonight? We want to see a lot of people who care about Crawford County calling in, talking to our storytellers here, our underwriters, the people who are here to support WEIU, but to support Crawford County, because you know, this is what this is all about tonight, is public television supporting the communities that we serve. So you know what, we serve 22 counties in Illinois and partly into Indiana, and Crawford County isn't too far from Indiana. We've got another call coming in, and we are so glad that those phones are ringing.
Well, it's, you know, we want to get to Fritz, his phone. We've got to get him on the phone because he's already rehearsed. He's got his fundraising spiel down pat, waiting for your phone calls. So
there we go, right there. All right, somebody listen to you. That's good. Now we got to get Preston on. I'll tell you what, I'm going to interview Preston here in just a second, but don't forget, we've got DVDs and we've got Blu-rays, and they're $75 each, and they are 2 or more for $60. So we need you to call in, and if you happen to call in when I'm talking to Preston, I'll let him get to the phone, but right now I want to talk to Preston, and let's get you mic'd up here. You can hold it if you want to. And I want to thank you for being here tonight with us, Preston, and I'm so glad that you're here and able to answer the phone. Hopefully it rings while we're getting ready to talk.
That would be great.
But tell me how you feel about Crawford Memorial Hospital being a part of such a special program.
Well, I mean, it's Crawford County as a whole is just a real collection of things where people in town have come together to do beautiful things, and the hospital itself, I mean, it filled a need and it continues to do so, and every day something new is happening, and it's a great thing to be part of.
Well, we're so happy that you're here tonight. We're happy that you told the story about the hospital, and we heard a lot of history about it and where it's at today and where it's going in the future. So if you appreciate that story and you appreciate the hospital in your area and Preston being a part of this program, give us a call, get his phone ringing right now. Wanda, over to you.
Absolutely. So be sure to pick up the phone, call Preston. He is such a sweet man, and when he shared the story of Crawford Memorial Hospital, how that it's more than a building, you could sense that as he shared his story tonight with you. And just being able to know the people in that sweet community and to be able to not only help them when they have physical problems, that they need their health, need a doctor to help them with their health, but to be a friend that really cares, and that means so much. It means a whole lot. So I know that you are enjoying this program. And what about Emily Gullett talking about the habitat, the wildlife?
Yes,
those
so cool.
Kids just absolutely love, you can tell, going and getting to be out there in nature. And what awesome photos that she had to share with everybody as she told her story.
Absolutely, and there were so many kids in that story being showcased because of Marathon and what they're doing to conserve nature in that area down there. So if you happen to know one of those kids in that story, be sure to get a hold of the family and let them know, hey, you need to get a copy of this program because your family member is part of this program because of Marathon.
Yes, and Crawford County is all about family. It is about supporting one another. When we first started putting this program together, we thought we were going to do a story on Robinson. And here's just a cool, fun fact for you. I love fun facts. So we thought we were going to do a story on Robinson, just the town of Robinson. We got in the champion meeting, and about halfway through, well, I don't even know if we even made it halfway through, they all started talking about, you know what, we really, can we hold on just a second and put the brakes on this, because we don't really want to do it on just Robinson. We want to do it on Crawford County, because that's how we view ourselves. We are a county, and we're proud of our county. When people ask us where we're from, we don't say we're from Robinson. We say we're from Crawford County, Illinois. So tonight, support Crawford County, support WEIU, pick up the phone. The really cool thing is you get to talk to these amazing phone operators. The other thing, if you can't get through, then we want you to go online at weiu.net, and you can order on our secure website. So all we want you to do is to be able to be blessed with this Crawford County program so that you can enjoy it.
We've got musical chairs going on back here. Someone wanted to talk to Preston. That's okay. That's what we do. We're live on TV. If you want to talk to someone in particular, we've got people here to talk to you. So just make sure you call.
So if you see one of your loved ones in the crowd and you think, nope, I want to talk to them, I'll give my order when I get to talk to them. Well, we can bring them up here and let you talk to them.
Absolutely.
That's the cool thing about this is live TV. You just never know what's going to happen. And our phone operators are busy. I'm wanting to interview Gina, but
it's
but
okay.
She's
the
on
phone's
the phone.
ringing, and that's what we want. So.
It absolutely is. But Gina has such a great story. She has made such an impact. Her and the women there in Crawford County have made such an impact on the community there. They have they've poured into the lives of the people that are in need. And there we go. And I was talking with Gina earlier and just how that it's impacted not only the community, but in return, it's impacted her in such a great way. And what a great, awesome story that she has.
You know, we know you want to get back to the show, but we're going to stay here for just a little bit longer because the phones are ringing. We want you to support the storytellers and get your DVD, get your Blu-ray, get more than one. Make sure you have one for yourself. Make sure you have one for another family member, or make it a gift. We can send that wherever you want it shipped to.
Absolutely. And you know, the great thing about WEIU is when you're sitting here tonight watching these stories, we may have been to your town. We may have already told your stories. And so you know what this feels like. But if you're sitting there and you think, well, I live in a sweet town here in central Illinois, maybe we'll come to your town next. Who knows? But if you support WEIU and you support Crawford County, this is our story tonight. You're helping us by putting money in our pocket to be able to go out and do the things that we need to do in the communities to make a difference. And we really do love making a difference in the communities. So pick up the phone, and we got a couple of phone operators here that are not busy right now. Pick up the phone and give us a call here at WEIU. We're live in the studio. You can talk to your people and order your DVD or Blu-ray or multiple ones. I tell you, it's such a deal to get 2 or more for $60 each, right? It's a great deal. So order yours tonight. Order your loved ones one. And if you want to give a great gift to your kids, give them this gift because they'll enjoy it for many years to come.
We got a little heads up here on what's coming up in the next segment. We'll just give you an idea of some of the stories you're going to hear. You're going to hear about some trees on the river. We're going to hear about James Jones. He's an author from the area.
Yes.
We're going to hear about Annapolis and about the parks and recreation down there, and something very special with the fire department, as well as the country club and the golf course that they have down around that area. And that's where we held our premiere.
Yes.
It was a great night. So we've got, 6 more stories coming their way in segment 2?
We do. Crawford County has so much to offer you, as you can see in these great stories tonight. So we want you to keep calling in. Our phone operators are going to stay right here waiting for your calls, and we just want to have a fun evening with you as we continue on with Crawford County.
This is our story.